Hello YTPC, good evening. Coming to you Sunday evening. Ordinary Piper sitting here in the Colorado room. Beautiful Sunday night, got a beautiful fire, beautiful pipe. Looking forward to talking with everybody today. Hope everybody's had a good weekend. Ready to start the week again. We're heading towards Christmas. Still a few weeks to go. A little bit more we've got to get through until that Christmas break. But we'll make it. Today, I am smoking that new pipe I showed you in the last video. I did a little bit of cleaning to it. It's my first smoke with it. My Amphora that I got from the Kansas City Pipe Club. Beautiful grain. Still needs to be restored. The stem's not black, but I couldn't wait to smoke it. I wanted to smoke it today. Today, I'm smoking one of the YTPC favorites. I definitely am not doing a review of this one because there's a million of them. But one of my favorites, of course, Plum Pudding by Seattle Pipe Club. An English Balkan pressed tobacco, a rich blend of Latakia, Orientals, Virginias, Perique, and Cavendish. Blended by Joe Langford. Awesome. And I heard a really great podcast with the gentleman who blended Plum Pudding, and I can't remember the name of the podcast that I was listening to. If I think about it, I'll share it in the show notes. But awesome podcast with how he blended, how he came up with things, how he kept his journals, and was almost never wrong when he came up with something. He would just make it and it would be incredible. Plum Pudding is a great example of that. My Plum Pudding is a little bit moist, a little bit too moist, because until recently I had been using some of the humidor packs. I did a video on that. I've taken those out because I agree, I think it's making my tobacco too moist. And so it's having a little bit of a hard time staying lit. This is also a tall, narrow bowl. Perhaps better for like a straight Virginia or a Weber, I don't know. But anyway, I'm smoking Plum Pudding out of it tonight. And there it is. That fruit mixed with campfire, earthy, musty campfire, almost like you ever had a sleeping bag that gets a little bit wet and then it's got grass on the bottom? Kind of a campfire smell to it from the night before. Plum Pudding's got a little bit of that for me. A little bit of that earth and wood, a little bit of tang on my lips, a little bit of tanginess. Maybe a little touch of sugar or brown sugar molasses on the tongue. Anyway, awesome smoke. Awesome smoke. I love Plum Pudding. Let's see. Sunday. Time for a reading from the Colorado Room. And you'll remember last Thursday, if you saw my video after I went to the pipe club, one of the guys told a story about this guy. This is George Washington Carver, a famous Missourian, incredible human being. But this is a book called Fruits of Creation, and it's a series of writings talking about global sustainability as seen through the eyes of George Washington Carver. And there's a particular quote from page 62 that I want to read you. In an essay published well before his rise to fame, Carver described how beholding creation could bring you into a closer relationship with the Creator. He said this: "To me, nature in its varied forms is the little window through which God permits me to commune with Him and to see much of His glory by simply lifting the curtain and looking in. I love to think of nature as a wireless telegraph station through which God speaks to us every day, every hour, and every moment of our lives." Oftentimes I go to the monastery here in Missouri, north of Cameron, Missouri. And I often go up there and visit with a friend of mine who is the abbot. And I talk to him about the fact that I've got to go up to the monastery to get what I call forest therapy. A little bit of forest therapy. Something about walking around in the forest is absolutely what George Washington Carver is talking about here. That nature, the forest, in all of its forms is like a window that allows me, that permits me not just to see God, but to commune with God and to see His glory, like lifting up the curtain. And I have to get out of the city. I work in the urban core of Kansas City, and I have to get out on a regular basis and just go and see the beauty of creation. The last time I did an overnight at Holy Archangel Michael Skeet, the monastery, I took my pipe, and it was a rainy night. I had been to evening vespers and the evening service, and I made my way back to my kelia, this little hut, this little Amish wooden log structure that I was staying in. Had a little cot and a desk and a lamp, and I had a good pipe with me. And I sat out in front of that little cabin, and the rain came down on the tin roof, and I was surrounded by forest and trees and the beauty, and the sky was just dark and mysterious, and the rain was coming down, and just was unbelievable, very meditative. I didn't do anything but sit there and listen for hours and smoke my pipe. That's something I need. You know, it reminds me, I've been listening lately to me, a new channel, Timber Drifter, which I know many people know him. He's got some awesome videos. Shout out to Timber Drifter. And just, I even went back and watched stuff from 5 years ago when his beard was huge and glorious. And just really enjoy how he talks about nature and walking along railroad tracks and just being out in the national parks. So hats off to Timber Drifter. Listen, lastly, I just want to thank everybody. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for, as of now, there's 101 subs, and it's really kind of you. I feel very welcomed by the community, and I feel very encouraged chatting back and forth with everybody, getting to share my piping journey. So I wanted to just come to you tonight. I wanted to share a little plum pudding with you, share a little George Washington Carver with you, talk about forest therapy, and now I'm going to sit here in front of my fire in the Colorado room and just enjoy the evening as the sun sets and the weather gets a little colder. So for that, I think that's all I've got today. I look forward to talking with everybody in the comments, but thank you. Deep gratitude to everybody. I really appreciate all that you've done and all of the subs. Look forward to seeing you next time. Just an ordinary piper making his way through the world. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.